It's time now for Your Retirement Matters with Arlene Brown. Make a positive difference in your financial life by developing a disciplined investment strategy so you can retire on time and stay retired. And now, Your Retirement Matters with Arlene Brown.
And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jeff Davis with our host, Arlene Brown. And good morning, Arlene.
Good morning.
And by the way, folks, you can call Arlene at 678-741-5334, to take advantage of a complimentary, no-obligation, 3-step review. Or you can email Arlene at Arlene, that's A-R-L-E-N-E, Arlene at yourretirementmatters.net. Again, that's 678-741-5334. So, Arlene, how are you today?
Oh, I am wonderful. I'm good. I'm just a little bit sad because one of my favorite places to hang out has filed for bankruptcy.
What is that?
I am referring to Borders bookstore, and it's expected to close 200 stores. So that means more people are going to lose their jobs. And the biggest reason why they filed for bankruptcy protection, because it is sinking by crushing debt. And of course, failure to adapt to the ever-changing industry did not help at all. But the biggest reason is because they have this mounting debt. And speaking of about jobs, the weekly unemployment numbers does not look good because it's trending up. So that's not the good news. And I'm also sad that the Illinois governor's proposed budget heavily relies on selling more debt instead, because they need to pay off their mounting bills.
I keep hearing the word debt here.
Yeah, and then the news about New Jersey's bond rating being downgraded, so that's not the good news. And then, as you see, the gasoline pump prices reached the 28-month high on Wednesday, and which pushes the wholesale prices higher. And of course, I am also disappointed about the president's proposed budget, because it lacks the seriousness of addressing our mounting debt.
He did call for some cuts, but probably not nearly enough.
Not enough. Not enough. It's really budget controls that should really be implemented.
So what's going to happen with Illinois? You mentioned Illinois just a moment ago. What's going to happen with Illinois?
If you notice, before we get to that, if you notice just what you said, you notice the word debt. Yeah, because all those things that I mentioned, the common denominator is debt. And just like what David Walker, the former U.S. Comptroller General, said, that the debt threat in this country is very serious. And it's not only the $14.2 trillion that we owe today, but what lies ahead. Because if we are not going to address the big three, the Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and restructure the entitlement programs, we're heading to the path of Banana Republic, fast and furious.
You know, we see it happening in places like Greece.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening in France, England. I mean, they just can't support they're going to die of their own weight, you know?
Exactly. You can't just sustain that way of spending. And back to your question about what's going to happen with Illinois. What's going on with Illinois right now is that, remember, last month they instituted a huge tax increase. But the tax revenue is not enough to pay their mounting debt. So his proposal is to get more debt.
Yeah.
Raise
the ceiling.
By selling more bonds. And I don't think they are going to hit the target, because right now people are very reluctant to buy muni bonds. And rightly so, because of the risk. Because look at what happened at New Jersey. The bond rating was downgraded from AA to -AA. That means if you are holding a bond fund that has New Jersey bond, you're losing money right now and may continue to do so. because that's every time one notch of downgrade, that's a equivalent of 8% in the decrease in the value of the bond. And remember, I maintained since last year, June of last year, I maintained, and I've been telling to take precautionary measure or caution on putting money on your putting money on the municipal bonds and treasuries. And also remember, Bernanke said, or the Fed said, that they're not going to bail out states and local government. So there you go. You really need to recognize that the seriousness of the state and local government debt issue, which really every level of our government is really, every level of our government is in our country is saddled with debt.
So should we get rid of our municipal bonds if we already own them? Should we do it right now? I mean,
do I recommend unloading municipal bonds right now? That's really a good question, because and it's one of those questions that the answer is it depends. Okay, you really need to ask yourself if you think that what you have right now, the kind of municipal bonds right now, is problematic, not good anymore. And if you are going to sell now, yeah, you are going to take a little hit, but you can use that money and put it in some alternative investment vehicle. So you are cutting your losses and probably recovered it immediately. Now, the second thing, if you are not going to sell it right now and wait to sell it later, and you are going to lose more. Okay, but it really depends on you. The third thing is you of course you have the option to wait or going to hold the bond till maturity, which we're looking at maybe 15 to 20 years, depending on how long your bond up to maturity your bond is. But usually it's 30 years. But let's say you already hold that for the past 10 years, so you still have 20 years. So what you need to ask is, yeah, you can get 20 years from now, if you hold your bond to maturity, you are going to get your principal back. But is it enough? You need to think and estimate the interest rate that you are supposed to earn if you moved it somewhere. So those are the three things, and it's really up to you what you can stomach, what you are comfortable with. That's why you really need, before you do anything, you really need to go through a process, like the 3-step review process, making sure that knowing your investment risk tolerance, so that it can point to the right direction, whether municipal bonds is right for you right now or not.
I always thought that municipal bonds were considered safe and that people buy them for, tax purposes, among other things.
Well, yeah. Municipal bonds, it has really a perceived safety because it is fully backed by the state, by the local government. They're going to pay it off. But as you can see, it's right now there's so much the credit rating for states and local government, because of their debt issues and problematic budgets. That's what happens. So most of our state governments are in trouble, and because what happened, they keep on spending like there was no tomorrow, and look what happened right now. And it's not only the credit risk. Don't forget, there is also the looming interest rate risk. Because we can't go down to, the interest rate right now is almost zero. There's no way you can go below zero.
Yeah.
So the only way to go is up. Okay. When the interest rate goes up, remember what happens to the bond prices. It goes down because because they goes in opposite direction. If the interest rate goes up, the bond prices goes down. So there you go.
Well, folks, whether you're contemplating buying or selling stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, it's important that you go through a process like a 3-step review that will address your income planning, risk exposure, and ensure that whatever you do, you're doing it in the most tax-efficient manner. Call Arlene Brown at 678-741-5334. That's 678-741-5334. Or you can email her at Arlene, A-R-L-E-N-E, Arlene at yourretirementmatters.net, and take advantage of her complimentary, no-obligation, 3-step review process. And you can visit her website at yourretirementmatters.net. And, of course, Arlene's Facebook page. You have a Facebook page now.
Mm-hmm.
How nice.
Your Retirement Matters page.
Your Retirement
Facebook
Matters
page
is the Facebook page, Your Retirement Matters. All right, stay tuned, folks. We'll be back for what I consider to be our favorite. I think you like it the most, too.
Yes, I like
where
it.
Arlene answers your questions. You're listening
Question
to...
and answer.
Question and answer. You're listening to Your Retirement Matters with financial advisor Arlene Brown. We'll be right back.